Carlos, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. I'm at the Aroma M Atelier in Dumbo, New York with Maria McElroy, the founder and perfumer of Aroma M Perfumes.
Hello all.
How you doing, darling?
Fabulous.
Always great to see you.
Yeah.
Well,
Love kissing you. So happy you're here.
yes, thanks for having me. She's celebrating 20 years in business. That's amazing.
It is remarkable.
Did you think it was going to be that long when you first started?
You know, Aroma M started like almost everything in my life with not a lot of thought. I just was bottling stuff in my kitchen one day, and 20 years later, here I am. So yeah, I think if you think too much in life, sometimes you end up not doing it.
So tell us about the beginning. Where did you start? Where?
The inspiration of the line started when I was living in Japan. So therefore, the geisha collection is the namesake of my mysterious and glamorous geishas that I did a lot of research when I lived in Japan about. And when I came back to the United States, as I said, I really had no idea what I was going to do. And I just started bottling some things in my kitchen. And at that time, it was the early 90s. And so there really was not a very big niche, or however people call it, artisan perfume. There just really wasn't any of that.
You're self-taught?
Yes, I'm self-taught. I basically have an aromatherapy, and really Japanese incense was, I think, the first thing that kind of sparked my interest with fragrance, and I do have the aromatherapy background. So, it took a little bit of confidence because there wasn't not really a movement per se of small perfumers. It was really just,
So you were one of the first, like, independent niche?
Yes, definitely. It was really just, Estee Lauder and L'Oreal, and there weren't really any small companies at that time. And I launched my first three, actually my first one, Ocha, which is green tea, and it was the Elements show, extract show, I'm sorry, the first extract show in New York, actually. So I came in, I actually showed there, and it was a fabulous show. Like Donna Karan was actually showing there.
Awesome.
Very different from the shows now. And
she shops in my store.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, I've seen her on several occasions.
She has a very great sensibility, and her booth was just gorgeous, I remember. And so without a lot of thought, again, I was like, I'd love to launch my line of Bergdorf Goodman, so I just made a call.
So you, out of the gate, were in Bergdorf initially?
Yes, that was where I launched. So
I thought you were like out for a while and then you wound up at Bergdorf later.
That was my launch.
That's fantastic.
It was,
wow.
Now looking back on it, at the time when you don't have much experience, you just think, oh, this is great. But now I think, wow, it doesn't really happen in this day and age anymore. The department stores are very different. It's a different style of business now, for sure. But it was a great honor, and just everything they did was always so beautiful. And I was there for about 8 years, actually. So I launched my first 3, and then I think I had actually 6 at the time. And then there was some actually change within Bergdorf's, and I actually ended up changing my line from, I can actually show you my little perfume bottle that I had. This was what the bottles used to look like. My old Aroma M fans will remember. They were all wrapped in silk, and it just got really difficult to get the bottle.
They were perfume oils.
Yes, perfume oils. So I ended up putting them the vintage geisha blue for all you geisha blue lovers out there. It smells amazing.
It smells good.
You can come to the atelier and smell it anytime. Yeah, it smells really good. Yeah, so I actually switched the line over. That's okay. Switched the line over to the roll-ons, which at that time there really no one was doing roll-ons, and actually a few of my customers said, oh, maybe you should do roll-ons. Are really easy, portable, and I thought, what, maybe this is a time for me to do a switch. So I ended up switching the line, which I still have, as you all know. I do the roll-ons. It's vintage geisha blue, it's special. So a lot of things happened in between, for sure. One of the interesting projects I did was when Sephora first launched in the United States, there were a handful of us that actually were part of this like niche grouping that they did. So I did something that only a small company can do. I didn't want to actually have the same line that was at Bergdorf's. So I created 3 fragrances. Yes, I did these products, it's beautiful, the marabou puffs, the powders, and whatever. So I did these 3 products, and we rolled them out into their first 18 stores. And we were all very excited because kind of similar to now, you know, well, actually now there's a lot more, I guess, recognition, but at that time it was not that much recognition for niche perfumers, and we had this, you know, company that obviously had, you know, a lot of power behind them and a huge name.
That's huge, being Sephora.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, this is going to be great. But unfortunately, it kind of all fizzled in the end because they didn't really promote enough, and as everyone knows what Sephora's look like, it kind of looked like that. So it ended up being really the best venue to present lines that people weren't, you know, familiar with, because people do need to have some education about it, and, you know, need to have someone there to explain it, and it just wasn't the right.
Well, you're beautifully represented at Lucky Scent and at Indie Perfumes, I believe.
At yes,
Indie Scents.
Indie Scents in San Francisco at Tiger Lily, and here in New York at
Twisted
Lily. Yes, and I was actually part of the original grouping of Lucky Scent, which is also such an honor to be working with those wonderful men, Adam and Franco. I'm giving them a big shout out. Love you. So yes, just a big honor to have been part of that, and still, you know, still there and still strong and doing, you know, doing really great. And just to watch how they have become such a wonderful force in the perfume world. You know, they're like the ambassadors for perfume now, and just really proud to see their business doing so well.
Yeah, I want to get there one day. I haven't.
And I went to the Scent Bar when I was in Los Angeles a few weeks ago, and it is just such a beautiful store. The people there, Steven, love you, give him a big shout out also. It's just, they have a lovely atmosphere. It's very welcoming, and beautiful selection, and yeah, it's very special. Definitely you have to go.
So you were in LA for the Art and Olfaction Awards, which you were nominated for?
Yes, our House of Cherry Bomb perfume, the line that I do with Alexis Carl, our tobacco cognac, which again,
love that one.
Huge honor, was nominated, and we had a fabulous time in LA.
I saw the pictures.
The people were so warm and welcomed us.
It was like the perfume red carpet. Her and Alexis and Yosh and all my friends from Facebook and what.
It's true. Well, they have a really wonderful community in California, and so it was lovely to experience that, and also to just, you know, have them be so welcoming. And we're both really so just touched that, you know, they went out of their way to really make us all feel so welcome. And it's a wonderful, wonderful, you know, kind of it's been needed for so long. You know, the Fifis were there, but the Fifis never addressed our, you know, what we're doing for the artisans and for the smaller companies. So it feels like this is, you know, this dream come true that finally this has happened. So it's wonderful.
So how are you celebrating 20 years? What do you?
Lots of champagne.
Cheers.
Every night. Lots of fresh flowers. Yes. Well, you know, I'm celebrating every month, every day. For this whole year, I've decided I was going to just do like a big party, and I thought, why? I'm just going to celebrate all year.
Why not?
So the official anniversary was February 14th on Valentine's Day. That's
so cool.
The official day. So each month we've been celebrating and highlighting a perfume. So we did the first original three, the Ocha, Hanacha, and Obaracha. They started out the gate. And on social media, I've been sort of posting a lot of the magazines that covered those, because all of them have their own little history behind them. All of the wonderful and beautiful blogs, reviews.
Yes, great stuff you were showing me last time.
Yeah, so kind of like bringing back the attention, you know, because some of the reviews are so wonderful, and you know, there's so much online now that people forget sometimes to go back and read some of these things. So this month we're actually the Gesha Violet is our highlight, and it's obviously for spring and for this season, and it definitely has its own cult following. So each month the highlighted perfume is 20% off.
Cool.
And you can.
What's the code?
No code. It has a special page. It's on a special link on aromaandperfumes.com.
Okay.
And it'll say 20-year anniversary, I think is the name of the link.
Cool.
So this month of May, it's violet, and then each month, you know, it's going to continue to change. And I do have a few sort of secrets up my sleeve, but I'm not sure if I want to divulge too much. But there will be something new, probably making an appearance towards the end of the anniversary. So.
Nice.
Yes.
She did a perfume for the POP project. She and Alexis with the House of Cherry Bomb called Pink Haze.
Our gorgeous pink case. Yes, I have to show you how fabulous the bottle is too. Not only smells good, but
Good stuff.
looks great. Case.
In case. So your latest release is Camellia. I've been reading a lot of stuff online about the beautiful Camellia. And I smelled it. I was at your party, but I'd love to smell it again.
Yes, well, it comes actually, I'm doing both sprays and oils because I feel like, you know, people really, they love both, and I've just decided whatever release I do from now on, I'm just going to do it in both. And my eau de perfumes are very, very high concentration, as you can tell. They're way over 30%, so they're, what is that, do you know the proper name for that?
Actually. So is this unisex? Is it?
You know, I never really make perfumes with men or women in mind.
Okay.
I just sort of create them. This one, to be honest, I thought would be maybe more for, you know, women. But when we had the launch party that you came to, about half the bottles I sold were to men, and men were loving it. So. Again,
it's spicy. It's not I don't think it's overly like heady floral, like
no.
Vavavoom floral.
It's not. It's actually very subtle because it is actually a natural perfume, and it is part of the Aroma M beauty line. So I wanted to make an all-natural perfume, as that line is an organic and, you know, natural based line. So I thought it would be, you know, appropriate to try to do a natural line.
So this is all natural.
Yes.
Okay.
So it has a lot of the ingredients that the oils have. The base oil in particular, it has all these beautiful jasmines, it has the neroli, a little bit of frankincense, and I added actually an essential oil of camellia, which it took me a long time to find, and when I found it, that's when I knew I had to do the perfume. And it has a gorgeous gardenia note in it also. So it does have a lot of florals in it, but it has this sort of Japanese hint of incense, the frankincense that sort of runs through it, that makes it so it's not just like a floral. It has a little bit of mystery to it. It smells lovely on you.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year. It's hot here in New York, so we're getting hot here.
I could see this blooming in the heat. Like.
I think so too. It's because it's not cloying, but it has a bit of freshness to it. The camellia essential oil has this almost sort of fruity floralness to it, so it gives it that sort of.
So Aroma M, the geisha thing might be a little off-putting to men, but you say you have.
Yes, the name itself.
Off-putting not off-putting.
The name itself.
Yeah, like.
Yes, exactly. And I've been tempted to do like samurai, you know, but it's a little bit too cliche. I have sort of, you know, thought about that. But,
you have.
Yeah, I have. How could I not? But I kind of left it there. I didn't follow through. But I do, as I said, I don't really think too much about when I create if it's going to be whom it's going to be.
Oh yeah, but you say that your stuff clearly sells to men that you.
Yes, it definitely. We definitely have, and the noir in particular is probably, I would say it's really our.
I have a bottle. I got one for my birthday.
It's for sure the sort of Aroma M cult classic. It's super popular. People love
Amber
it.
And.
It's amber and tonka bean. It's very sexy. I have a lot of men that actually were buying the roll-on, and it was one of the first ones that I did the eau de parfum for, because I felt like, and I changed the label. You'll see it's a little less.
The roll-ons were oil.
Yes.
I just put some of this on. I haven't tried the blue. It's really nice.
Thank you.
I like it.
The blue. It has a lot of essential oils in it. It sort of harkens back a bit to my aromatherapy days. It gets its name from chamomile blue.
Okay.
So it has that sort of fresh green chamomile essence, and it has jasmine in it. It has green tea in it, and it has honey. It happens to be the #1 New York bestseller. It has a lot of very calming, serene qualities, which is maybe why we New Yorkers
really nice.
gravitate to it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because it's got this very chill.
I feel like I'm in a spa, relaxing, and.
It's very chill. Yeah, and actually, there was a friend of mine that she lives in Los Angeles, and she always told me, she's like, it reminds me of the Beverly Hills Hotel after it rains. And I was like, that's like so great. And I just got back from LA, and I sort of now understand what she was talking about, because the jasmine is in full bloom in Los Angeles. It's just magnificent. And it smells like that. It smells like this sort of ocean, rain,
I want my apartment to smell like this. I think Jean and Claude would really like that.
Oh, Jean and Claude.
Jean and Claude. All right, so since we're here, we're talking about this is Aroma, but let's talk a little bit about House of Cherry Bomb.
Yes, I would.
The tobacco cognac.
Yes, the bottom behind you can show the gorgeous packaging too.
This one.
It has we package all of them with a nice, beautiful piece of leather. So that one has a chocolate brown to be reminiscent of its name.
This is good stuff. I have a bottle of this too. I really dig it. And there's also one with tuberose as well.
Exactly. So it gives it, in that one too, it's not necessarily more feminine. I actually, when we were in Los Angeles, there were a couple of men that told us that they had the tuberose one, which it just goes to show again, you know, a lot of guys really like the florals. It's just it's just not that, you know. I
didn't for most of my perfume life, but in the last 5-6 years, I like really love florals. Carnal flower is like something that I love. So
yeah, that's
I want to try the tuberose one because I already love the tobacco cognac.
It just gives it this sort of additional element of that has some florals in that already, but the tuberose is just this gorgeous heady tuberose from Morocco, and also has a little bit of gardenia in it too. So it's got this sort of white floral thing that mixes with the tobacco and the cognac and the honey, and they're very.
She sold you, right?
Isn't
that great?
They're very special, these fragrances, and they're all made right here in the atelier, and the ingredients are they're just the top. So, you know, it shows when you smell it, you can tell that they're very special.
I don't want to elaborate too much because I feel bad doing it
without
Alexis.
Without Alexis being right here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, that'll be it. We'll do that another time.
I would love that.
Well, wishing you another successful 20 more years. And always wonderful to see you. Thank you, baby.
Thank you so much.
Say goodbye.
Thank you all.
Take care.
Bye.